Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris with Billet Box Info, and today we got a new thing to come in, which is not very new. I've had it for a couple months, but I've got one in retail packaging, and it's the Aspire Qbix, which was designed by at Mizzou. I've been using this thing for a couple months, a prototype that I got with the Aspire box, which is basically a Boro device that the Qbix came with. If you check out the channel, I actually did a video on the box itself. And the box is made by Aspire, but it's part of the Aspire Prestige line, which is where Aspire teams up with other modders and creates product. In this case, this was designed by Sunbox, produced by Aspire, and the tanks that came with it are the Qbix, and a couple other tanks that use both BP coils and another one that uses Aspire Nautilus coils and Triton coils. And those tanks, including the Aspire Qbix, was designed by at Mizzou. So, like I said, it's part of this Aspire Prestige line. It says it's somewhere on the box, possibly, maybe not. But it also, they did the box, they did the mix, which uses the same chip and looks very similar. It's a side by side that they did with Sunbox as well. There's an RTA. There's other things coming. This is the Nico RTA, and I don't know who they teamed up with on this, but anyway, long story short, I've had this thing for a couple months. Been using it. It is, in my opinion, dollar for dollar the best RBA for a Boro device on the market. I'm not saying it's the best, but dollar for dollar. The cost on this thing is about 27 to 35, depending on where you get it. Very, very inexpensive. Like I said, it's designed by at Mizzou and produced in China by Aspire. In fact, the box says Shenzhen E-Gate Technology, something like that. So Aspire, designed by at Mizzou, box RBA pod Qbix. And this is the 2 milliliter version, which can be defeated. The 2 milliliter version was put out there for TPD standards, which is the Tobacco Products Directive. Came out in like 2016, has a bunch of regulations for European countries, and one of those standards is that a pod or a tank cannot exceed 2 milliliters capacity. So a lot of the manufacturers, the tank makers, the RTA makers, they have a way around it, and this one does as well. So, like I said, I've been using it for a couple months, and I love it. But I wanted to get one in retail packaging and do a video. You can see part of the video for the box on the channel, and I talk about the Qbix in there. So I've been telling everybody I love it. Some believed me, some didn't. The ones that didn't, they're missing out. The ones that have gave it a try, and I've not seen anybody complain about it yet. So I don't really even need to do a quote review on it. But we're gonna bust this thing open and put it together and do a little video here. So let's go down here, and we got the box, or the box that the Qbix comes in. So pop this open. And I got this one. There's a few retailers in America. This is a European version, obviously, in 2 milliliter capacity, but we're going to show you how to take care of that. I got this one from Vapology. Vaping Art also has them. But, for what you get here, and there's the Prestige logo, Aspire Prestige. For what you get with this thing, for the price that you get it for and the flavor you get out of it, it's basically a dot shell XL if you've ever had the dot shell. So there we are. It looks just like the one that I have in this right here. except for not old. Uh, let's see here. We'll go over that in a minute. Let's show you what else is in the box. Under here, we got an instruction card, and we got some spare gaskets and screws, and a whole bunch of airflow pins. The airflow pins that you get are several airflow. There's 10 different airflow that go all the way down to 0.8 millimeter, all the way up to 4 millimeter, which is pre-installed in the Qbix, or should be. And I am not going to mess with these airflow pins because 4 millimeter is perfect for me. I want as much airflow as possible. So, but I mean, there's not many out there, especially at this price point, that have this many airflow pins that come with it. And I'm not saying anything against any of the other great RBAs on the market. The Bridged by Wick, the Monarchy Mob. Just, I mean, there's plenty of them out there. A lot of them are great, hand machined. But this one is made in China. That might bother some people, but for the price, this thing is a banger. So I think I used that exact verbiage. So anyway, here is the box, or the Qbix, and there's an airflow adjustment down here, and this just screws off, which you'll have to do, which I'll go ahead and do now, to be able to put this onto your builder. The threads for putting it on your device or your coil maker, whatever you're going to use, are right there and exposed. You can leave. It'll work with this off if you just want to take it and make it completely, but it kind of looks silly in my opinion. So, and then you just slide the deck out like that, and we're going to go ahead and put this right here for now to get it out of the way, while we take this big this little thing right here, this black, that is how this was made to only hold 2 millimeter. So the way to get this out, this is the way I'm going to do it. Just push down on it, push down right there, and that'll take that part out. And this should just slide over the top. The one that I got as a prototype, this should just pull right over the top of that, but I may just, for speedy, oh, there we go. I was just thinking about just cutting it right off. Watch that. I got there we go. So there you go. Now you can push this back up in here. Make sure the Qbix is on the front. You know what, before I do that, well, no, I don't need to do that. I was going to put a little bit of juice on the O-rings there to get it sliding in there really good, but I don't think I'm going to need that. I'm going to push this up through here, get it seated just fine. There we go. We're back to square one, and now we have a 4 milliliter tank. So you got your fill port here, your chimney there. The juice drops down and wicks through these holes through the top and drops down onto the deck. So without further ado, we're going to throw a coil in here. And I've put together a 3 millimeter coil that we're going to throw on here real fast. I hate building on camera, but we will try to do this as fast as possible. And I may actually speed this up in the post-production, but because you really can't see what I'm doing here. Anyway, this takes a flathead screw and just sticks under there on both sides, as you can see. There we are. That ought to do it. So there you are. We'll just fill off here. Oh, that's a piece of, let's see, this should read about 0.4 when I'm done. Right now it's reading 0.32. All right, that ought to do it. Let's see if we got right on it. 0.4. 0.34 still. This usually comes out to about a 0.4 the way I built this one. 0.34 will work for me. That's going good. And let's put this on here to make sure we don't have anything touching. Wiggling around there. Nope. We're going to be fine. All right. Let's throw some cotton in there. And this is, wicking is extremely easy on this thing. Just take your cotton. Find me a little stick here. Roll it up. I should have did this before. This may be a little too much. Let me take a little bit of that out. Oops, that's probably too much now. Run that through there like this. Yeah, it's a little loose. No, I'm gonna back up and punt. We're gonna go a little thicker there. That was too loose. You don't want it too thick in the channels there, these channels right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it a little bit thick in the middle. And then we're going to taper it through into the channels. There we go. That's much better. A little bit of resistance. All right, so I'm going to take and cut this way, and we're going to cut it this way. We're going to cut some more too, so this is just the first cut. All right, then I'm going to take a little bit off the top and kind of go at an angle towards the coil. Same way this way. Oops, that was about to be too much. There we are. Let's cotton that away. All right, now I'm going to throw a little juice on here. This Movation X, or however you pronounce it, it doesn't, it wicks great, but it doesn't immediately absorb when it's dry. But it'll hold it. All right, so now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and shape this up a little bit. Kind of move it down into the channels there. And I can see on this side that I'm going to have to come off a little bit on this side. And a little bit on this side. Don't really want it hanging over the edge there. Kind of at an angle there. And PMs keep coming. A little bit over here. And that ought to do it. Lay this down in there. A little bit more there, but that should do for now. All right, there you go. That's it. So we're going to put this down on the back down on here and make sure it lines up. Still reading 0.34. Firing off good. Let's take this off here. Throw this AFC ring back on. And when you turn it back, when you push it back on, it's going to close. So you want to open it back up wherever you want it. I would run it wide open like that. And that's it. So we'll throw this into a device. And by the way, it was designed to go into the box, which I don't have any, take that out. There we go. I don't have a battery in here, so I can't show you that, but there you are. But we're going to put it in this 2016 R&B. Let me find a drip tip to use real quick. Yeah, really doesn't matter what I use. Let's just put this one on for now. There we have it. See what it read here. Reading 0.35. And it's firing, so let's put some juice in here. And that just pops open right there. kind of take your juice and angle it off like this. And there you are. If this thing wicks really good, you'll see some nice little bubbles come through, a little bubble train coming out of those little holes right there, and we already got that going on. All right, maybe get this thing on here. There we are. Clean up a little juice there with some cotton, and here we are. Let's just take one hit down here. Oh yeah. There we are. Let's take this up here. Put this here. See what it looks like in there. That is the Aspire Qbix, designed by Mizzou. Beautiful, beautiful taste. There is nothing different between this one and the one that I have in this device. It came out. Can I do that? There we go. It pretty much came out. The retail looks just like and performs just like the prototype I have here. And this prototype, I've got it at 0.54 at 30 watts. Different juice. The retail version, let's crank that up a little bit. What do I got it at? 0.35. Let's go up to about 30. Oh, I got the locked. Let me get this unlocked and there we are. Move this up to about 36 watts probably. Yeah, 36. There we are. Oops, that focus ain't going good there. There you have it. Again, like I said, this thing for the price is excellent. There, I mean, you can't beat 35 max dollars. In my on my list on the website, billetbox.info, I have moved this up recently to number 4. Possibly might move it up to number 3 above the vape snail. I've got the bridged number 1, version 1, 1.2, 1.2 plus, and probably the 2.0 when it comes out, unless something goes wrong. And the Mob Mini, it's a very close second. Vape Snail third, and this number 4. But for the price, I think this is going to deserve to be jumped up to number 3. Where's my Vape Snail at? What do I have my Vape Snail in right now? No, there's a bridged. I don't know what I have my Vape Snail in right now. But anyway, one other thing to mention, if you see this in the next week, we have some of these Desi cases from Needed Stuff. It's their special edition Needed Stuff design. I've got 8 of these that I'm giving away. You got to go to the Billet Box Info Facebook group and fill out a Google form to be entered, and I'll be running that Sunday, a week from today. Sunday, let's see what date that is, the 25th. At about 9 p.m. I'll be running that live on the Billet Box Info Facebook page, so if you want to check that out. So, but anyway, my name's Chris, billetboxinfo.com. This was the Qbix RBA by Aspire, designed by Mizzou. I will give much credit to at Mizzou for that, and I'll give Spire credit for keeping the cost really low, because $35 max. I think I paid 35 for it at vapology.eu, and I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You got to try it for yourself, and at that price point, if you can get a hold of one, if you don't like it, $35. I think we've wasted more than $35 on less, right? But I truly believe you will definitely make this one part of your. I mean, it's not as fancy looking as some of the others, but it does. I mean, it looks good too. But anyway, I'll ramble on forever, but we'll go ahead and end this now. Have a good weekend.